Little Jeep family here, and it's been I think a year and a half since I last recorded, and I apologize, but I didn't know what else to record for you guys and or give a tutorial on. So what I'm gonna do today is I just recently bought a intercom system for my Jeep, and with this Jeep here, it's a little loud when we are driving with the family, and if you got all four of us in the Jeep, it gets a little bit loud, and so we're going to take a trip actually today. We're going to be driving about 80 miles with this Jeep, and so usually the kids are in the back and they're screaming, trying to get us to hear what they're saying, and we're trying to hear what they try to hear what we say at the same time, and so it's just lots of, I feel like, yelling back and forth. So I want to stop that, and so I went online. I found a couple companies that make really nice ones, but you're going to start at about $1,200 was the cheapest I could find for just a solid intercom system for your vehicle, and like what the race cars would use and other companies like that. So what I did was start searching online, and this is going to be kind of I bought a bunch of different things, not from one specific company at all, but just a bunch of different items. And so what I'll do in just a second, I'll show you the different items that I bought and where you can get them from. And I spent a total of $300, almost exactly, maybe a little plus or minus just with shipping and whatnot, but for 4 headsets and an intercom for $300. All right, so to get started, this is everything. This is all you need. It is really basic, really easy to do, and pretty easy to set up too. So I start off with the intercom system. This is an AVIX, I think it was AV4000, but it's an AVIX. If you just Google AVIX 4000, it's going to show up. There's a 2000 and a 4000. The 4000 allows you to plug in 4 headphones. 2000 allows you to plug in 2 headphones. I got this for $100 on eBay. It supposedly was used. It's in mint condition. And so I'll kind of go over the different controls in that in just a second. Then the other items that I bought are these ASA, I think it was HS-A1, and these are the headsets that I bought. And as your typical airline headset, or if you're a pilot, you'd be using something like this. About 4 of those, all those on eBay, each $50 a piece, and they are incredible. They're pretty much noise canceling, and especially in my Jeep, when how loud it is. I went down the expressway the other day and I got up to about 70 miles an hour. I was actually quite impressed I got to 70 miles an hour in my Jeep. But besides the point, this headset though, it's even my daughter, I mean, she's 3 years of age, and it fits her pretty well. And so it's gonna, of course, have an adjustable top to it, where you can adjust both the top or the headset for the size of the person, and then down at the end you're going to have 2 different plugs. One is a little bit bigger than the other, so that's what's really nice about it. And so one is hang on, let me focus in on that. The larger one is going to be for your actual headphone, and then the smaller one is going to be for your actual microphone. And you just take them over to your unit and plug it in and plug it in, and that's pretty much it. So if you can't figure that out, sorry. But anyways, so that's the basics of it. The other headset will plug in one here, headphone mic. You have a mic and a headphone, and a headphone and a mic here. So all 4 plug in there. You also have inputs and outputs if you want music or anything playing through them. It's actually kind of a nice little setup. I have not used that yet, but I figure that's what that's going to do, and I don't think there's going to be much more complicated to that. The only thing I haven't figured out yet, I Googled it for a total of about 20 seconds, was the XMITSW. Really don't know what that is. I'm sure somebody can put in the comment section what that is, but like I said, I'm sure it's something super awesome that I'm just really missing out on. So, but as far as this goes, it's the things, if you've never used one of these, really, like I said, it's really basic. You got a volume control, of course, an on and off switch. The squelch is the only thing that's going to be confusing for most people, but once you start using it, you'll really understand how it works. For those of you that don't understand what squelch actually is, and I didn't when I bought this a week ago, and it took me, again, a total of about 10 seconds to figure it out. Airline headsets, they don't turn on until somebody begins speaking, and so that's where you can adjust that. You can have it, if I turn it to right about here, it will be on all the time. So you'll be able to hear everybody, every word that they say, but you can also hear the background noise just a little bit, noise that's going on. And it's really not a big deal at all, but if you want it to be where you don't hear anything except when someone talks, you'll just adjust it and you'll hear it as you begin talking. Everything will be, there's no audio at all, and then as soon as someone begins talking, it'll turn, the intercom turns on and goes to everyone's headset. And you can talk over each other. It's not like a walkie-talkie, some of those that you can't talk over on top of each other, but this one, 4 people can be talking at one time and you can hear all 4 of you talking at the same time. So that's another nice feature that it has. And but this, like I said, just adjusts to your voice. The main thing is with the microphone, you just have to keep these if you're going to use the squelch to where it's not on all the time, which will save the battery life and or power life, you just keep it real close to your mouth and it'll turn on. It'll miss the very, like, half or a quarter second of the first word that you say. And with the squelch turned down a little, or again you could turn it all the way, to here, and it'll just be on all the time. Now, the other good thing about this is that because I'm using 2 hands right now, I'm not going to be able to, if you turn this over and just slip this up, oh, look at me, I'm amazing, I can do it with 1 hand. This is the whole setup. There's two 9-volt batteries it'll actually take, and so that's one real nice part about it. So you don't even have to have it powered to your vehicle. It is portable, or it does have a plug-in. Now, mine didn't come with a plug-in, but it's got a 12-volt DC plug-in right there on the back of it, and so that is pretty much the whole setup right there. So I'm not even gonna show the other 3 or do anything with those 3, but it's and then for me, I've just plugged it into I've thrown it into my center console, and I just open up the center console, throw everything right inside there, have all the wires going just through, and just shut it from there, and then it'll run to the back where the kids are, and then of course my wife and I in the front. So like I said, real happy with the purchase, and for 300 bucks, can't really beat that. And the headsets, everything have worked really well. The only issue that you'll probably end up having is if you leave the squelch in the on position, and like over in this area where it's always on, and I did this 2 days ago. I left it I had the intercom on, squelch in the on position, and my son and I were talking to each other on the way to school. And then I put our headsets down, and then we went to school all day. And then after school, we put them back on, and I realized that I had left it on all day, and so the batteries were dead. But if you leave the squelch to where it only turns on, which is right in this area, but if it only turns on when you begin talking, and then that means it'll be off all the other time. So that's actually going to help there. But of course, again, it has the plug-in on the front or back, on the front side of it, and you can plug it right into your vehicle's power too, which would also work. The intercom does have a output and input on it. Let me see if I can just get that to zoom in real quick. So you have the mic out and audio in on that. I don't see any use for that with my vehicles. Possibly, I mean, if you have a CB radio, you might be able to hook it into something like that, and so that feature would actually be nice. I don't have a CB in mine yet, but that's what the 2 wires coming out of the intercom system are. So hopefully that helps.